Hi everyone, Don here in the remote Tri-State Traffic Show Traffic Center. We're on location here in central New Jersey. We're at one of the beautiful parks that grace the Garden States up and down from the north to the south to the east and the west. We're going to do a little car review. We're going to do a little bit something different here on the channel. I'm going to try to add some more content for the channel. So our first review is actually going to be of my 2014 Cadillac ELR. It's Cadillac's first electric vehicle, all electric vehicle. And it was game changing at that point in 2014. It's based also on the Chevy Volt. It's the same underpinnings, the same architecture as the Chevy Volt, but with the Cadillac flair. So let's get right in to our review of the 2014 Cadillac ELR. So there she is, the 2014 Cadillac ELR in crystal red tint coat. Again, this is a 2014 ELR. It's Cadillac's first all-electric vehicle that was on the market around the same time as the Chevy Volt. Actually came out probably about maybe 2 or 3 years after the Chevy Volt. Chevy Volt, I think the first model year was 2009, so maybe about 5 years later. This was Cadillac's first attempt at a fully electric vehicle. So you can see the body style is absolutely gorgeous. That's one of the reasons why this was attractive to me. That's the reason why I bought it, just from the way it looks, regardless of whether it's electric or it's a gas engine, whatever. It is just a sharp car. Now, for me, mostly I use it as a show car. You know, it's not a daily driver. I have a different vehicle for that, but it's mostly a show car, and it definitely gets a lot of looks when I take it to the local car shows in my area. So again, the red paint is just gorgeous. The chrome accents, I think everything just works. We have 20-inch tires. So let's kind of go through it here. Let's start from the front because I think the angle of it, I think, really helps out. It's kind of a really cool angle here. So this was actually the first Cadillac, or the first production vehicle with LED headlights and also daytime running lights and turn signals as well. So this was the first production vehicle out of, I guess, all production vehicles in 2014 to have all LED signature around headlights, the fog lights on the bottom, as well as the tail lights and the tail markers. So really one of the cutting edge, bleeding edge technologies, if you want to call it, for a Cadillac. And we're at a good time now for Cadillac because they're just introducing the 2023 Lyriq. That's their next fully electric. This is a hybrid. We'll get into that in a couple of minutes, but this is a full electric on the Lyriq, which is a 2023 model. And so far I've seen the reviews. It's really a sharp-looking automobile. SUV, fairly large. So the wheels kind of look a little bit similar to what I have here. But again, that's fully electric. This is a hybrid, very much like the Volt. So let's run down the numbers for you with the powertrain in this vehicle. It is a battery plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So on the battery itself, you get up to 39 miles on a charge. And that's still what I'm averaging here about, what are we saying, about 8 years later or so, give or take. So it's a plug-in hybrid, gets up to 39 miles on pure electric. Again, this car is pure electric. It is absolutely silent for when you're driving. There is some chimes and things in the front end to let pedestrians know, but again, this vehicle is completely silent. We'll pop the hood here in just a moment. This is kind of just our initial kind of walk around of the vehicle. And let me just widen it up a little bit there, makes it a little bit easier. So yeah, so again, this is cutting edge technology back in 2014 when this first arrived on the scene. Now, if you notice here in the front end, there is no grill. It's a faux grill, but there really is no need for a grillish type in a conventional vehicle. Now there is an engine in this vehicle as well, so there is slots underneath it here on the bottom to let some air in, but it's not a full grill because you really don't need it, especially if you're running on pure electric. So as we come around the vehicle here, let me come out of this. I'm shooting actually into the sun here, so we'll come this way. I was hoping it was going to get a cloud or so, but I'm going to get sunburn. So again, there's our wheel package that we have. These are 20-inch wheels. I think these are machine chrome or forged chrome or chrome aluminum. So really a sharp looking touch to the vehicle. Again, 20-inch tires here. What's the sidewall? I can't read it because it's, let's see. I don't know if I can find it. I don't see it. It's 240 something. I don't know exactly what that is off the top. Oh, here it is. It's a 245/40. So 245/40 tires on this vehicle. So now we also have the LED turn signals, the markers. These are not power fold, unfortunately, but they go in like that. Just manually push that in. Again, it has a nice accent strip on the bottom, the chrome strip, along with black. The black, I don't know what you call it here. It's not carbon fiber, but it kind of has like a faux look to it right there. Now, let's talk about how to get into the vehicle. So the door handles and so forth are very much like the Corvette at the time. And again, this is for a 2014. So what you do is you stick your hand in here. There's a little button, and you push in on it, and the door pops open. So that's how the door pops open. And as you see, the window goes down as well when because it hits the chrome strip. So when you close it, you'll see the window go back up. So again, put your hand in here, pull, and there we go. And the door opens. So kind of a nice, unique touch here, kind of keeping things flush to the vehicle. Now, as we come around the back, again, this is for the gas, because this is a gas engine. And what the gas engine does, we'll talk about that when we get and we pop the hood. So as we walk around the vehicle here in the back, I really like this accent piece here with the tail light integrated into the spoiler. Really a sharp fin type look. And we've got the vertical tail lamps as well, and on both sides. So there's the ELR badging right there. The trunk, fairly substantial size trunk. It's not power, but pops open. And you can see it goes, relatively far into the back there. The seats, do they fold down? I don't believe they do. I've never really done that. So it's kind of like a coupe style in the back. You've got your parking sensors here in the back. So again, we come around this side, and this is just another nice look at the coupe-like profile, which it is a coupe, but it's really low. And it's at times, not gonna lie, it's kind of interesting as far as getting into the vehicle. And it's a little bit of a low carriage as well as even visibility, but you have your shark fin antenna on top. The one thing that's missing, though, that I would have loved to have seen is a sunroof. Glass sunroof wasn't available as an option at all, but I think that really would have rounded out things really, really nice. Let's get into the vehicle, and again, using the door handle here, push, hold, and open. So you can see the beautiful cashmere leather interior. We've got unlock, lock. We've got two-person memory here. Auto up and down for the driver and passenger side. The trunk release here, that's the gas cap. And again, you push this, you hear that little remote lever. Let's see. That's how you get out of the car. It's an electric door. Goes fitting with an electric car, right? All right, so let's get on inside and come on in. Very cool, right? It's its own little startup sequence. So you put your foot on the brake, and to fire it up, you push the power button. And the seats come back with the memory. And we'll get some air conditioning here in just a moment. Okay, friends, we've seen the startup on the 2014 Cadillac ELR after pushing the power button. Now let's go through some of what we have on our screens. Let's start it off here in the instrument cluster, the instrument panel. So you can see it's a fully digital instrument panel. It is going to be about 7 inches across, maybe 8 inches or so. But it's fully reconfigurable. So let's focus in on the right in the center of the screen. You can see that is your speedometer. And then we continue on towards our trip computer with fuel mileage. Now, this is my actual fuel mileage here, almost 50 miles per gallon in 695 miles across the board. As we continue on, that one's blank. So we go to coolant temperature, 143 degrees. We have our following distance for the cruise control. And then we take a look at the speed limit. That puts up the local speed limits in the area through the navigation system. And we go over towards a timer button now, which is kind of interesting here. Not quite sure what exactly you would use that for, but maybe for a road trip of some type, I think could be of some use. And then we will go to our average speed of 36 miles per hour. There's your tire pressure, which is great. I use that all the time to monitor these big 20-inch 245 R40 tires. And then we'll take a look at our oil life. That's 100%. And then our total range, including the battery, is 243 miles with the electric generator. So there is our speedometer as well. So now down here in the bottom left, let me see if I can bring the camera in just a little bit closer for us and take out the glare there. So down here, this tells me how much EV range, how much battery I have left in the battery pack, about 16 miles or so. This is the charging bar here, very much like a gas fuel meter there. The little leaf there, that's also configurable. It kind of tells you when you're driving better or worse. It goes up or down. Going the further up it goes, a little more greener it gets. And then on this side gives you your power voltage meter. Over here on the far right, you see we're at 1 kilowatt now because we're just with the car on and the climate control on. We're just drawing about 1 kilowatt out of the battery pack. So the fuel range is 227 miles, and we have just about almost a full tank, just down maybe about 1/8 of a tank or so, and that's the gas gauge that is going to be right there on the far right. So you see the button there that says ready. So there are some drive modes that we can get ourselves into. So the first one is here in a Tour that leaves it in all electric, and then once the electricity is depleted from the battery pack, it switches over to the generator to make more electricity for the battery. And again, this car has only 1 gear, it's fully electric, and the engine in the vehicle is only a generator. The engine does not drive the transmission or the wheels. It only produces electricity, very much like your emergency generator at home. So the Tour will leave that in electric mode. Sport is a combination of both the electric and the power from the generator, and that kind of gives it a sportier feel. It tightens up the suspension, throttle response, as well as steering feel feedback. It kind of tightens things up. Mountain mode is if you're going up a mountain, gives you maximum power. And then whole is a good feature as well. That puts the vehicle into a where the engine produces the electricity instead of using your battery pack. So when that happens, that number on the left, the EV range, will go gray. And then what it does is it saves your battery mileage for when you need it. Let's say you're driving in the city, or you are want to just save that battery pack for later on. And it's good for really on the highway, because driving an EV is not the most efficient thing, at least for all electric on the highway. So I use the generator when I'm on the highway, and then wait till I come off the highway and then switch over to electric. All right, so that is part of the instrument panel. If you come over here, you can see it's I'm just trying to get the glare off of the phone camera. I think that looks pretty good there. So we go here to the information screen. That will bring up what we just saw just a moment ago. This brings up your audio menu. That tells you what radio station you are on. And then we continue down to our phone. We've got navigation as well. That'll populate that in the center circle there. X gets the square, right? So that kind of is a cool feature. And then this is configurable as well. So right now we are on the classic, let's see, the classic enhanced, that's what we're on. But you can go to a modern look. That kind of switches things up just a bit, kind of a neat feature there. The classic is just the inner ring without the outer bands there, explaining what, you know, some of your efficiency modes are. And then we continue over to the modern enhanced, which is kind of cool. It gives you a little bit of both with those green bands around the inside. I think is kind of a sharp look. So again, very customizable for, you know, 2014. It certainly was a very unique type dash layout. Let's go through the buttons here on the wheel. We do have a heated wheel to save some efficiency when the heater is on in the winter. Our cruise control buttons and our volume, that is going to be for the telephone, and that is to hang up the phone calls. This is your cruise control. This is your crash avoidance system. It tells you if you're following too close. This is the change track for the radio and also the volume up and down. All right, let's go to the center stack now. As you can see, I'm on the AC because it's a fairly warm day today. As you can see, it's already 88 degrees, so fairly hot. Johnny Rocco nailed that one right on the numbers there for today. So we have this is a touch capacitive screen, so you'll have some feedback when you actually touch the screen. So we have auto heated seats. There's no ventilated seats in here, but just auto heated seats. You can set that, and then when the temperature dips below, I think maybe 40 or 32, I'm not sure. I think it's south of 40. It will automatically turn on the seat heaters for you. Obviously, this is your directional flow here as far as the air conditioning is concerned, or the heating. We are on AC mode, as you see it, minimum, eco, and max. And this is kind of cool. It tells you how much power is drawing from the battery for the air conditioning. So up to 36% now is being diverted to climate control. This is your fan speed dual climate controls here for both passenger and the driver. So that is your AC heating and cooling systems. We have the phone there. This is the navigation, and this is kind of a cool feature as well. We've got battery flow meter. So right now we're on battery power. You can see the pack is we're just about halfway to empty. So when I get home, I'm going to plug it into my 240 volt, I should say, power that I have mounted on the side of the house. You can set up different charging times for the most efficient time to charge. If you click that there, it'll say 8 amps immediately. It'll tell you when you're finished if you're on 240 at 6:15. So to fully charge the battery on 240, you're probably looking at about 4 hours or so. It's fairly slow, obviously, comparatively speaking, to some of the newer vehicles that are on the market, like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the upcoming Ioniq 6. Also the EV6 from Kia and the GV60 from Genesis. You know, you can get from 10% to 80% in like 18 minutes, which is unheard of charging. It's crazy. Now you saw some of those buttons come up. That's because my hand kind of came into the screen. There's like a little sensor here that some of those icons will disappear. Let's just see if we can get that to do that. Just kind of wait a second here. And again, this is all piano black here is really nice looking, gives it a really classy touch. Although I will say it does give a little bit of a glare, as you kind of can see here with the sun. It can make things just a little glary, you know, coming off of the center stack. Let's show you one of the party tricks here. Now, if you come down here, well, first let's do this here. This is all your climate control. There's other physical buttons other than the touch screen. This is just the temperature, volume. You go left, right, across the board, and it's against capacitive. So you feel haptic feedback for those buttons. That's your auto. We have the defroster, rear defroster. circulation, heated seats, both sides. And that is going to be a look at your home button. When you go home, those are all the settings. Now, this car does not have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. It wasn't introduced until 2016. So this has Sirius XM, HD radio. There's no CD player, although there is a CD option for the glove box. I do not have that, but there is a CD option as well. You have Pandora that hooks up via Bluetooth through your phone, obviously the climate control and the navigation. All right, so here's kind of the party trick. If you push down here, you hold just push it on the top, and there you go. Little secret storage compartment. So you can charge a USB or stick a USB stick on the inside there, which is kind of cool. It's got a little LED light there, kind of showing you what's going on. I use this little cloth here to kind of wipe down the piano black, but kind of a nice little hidden compartment. And then what you do is you push the button here, and then there it goes. And it comes back to life. Very cool. So you have a standard, a normal, traditional gear shifter, the Prindle, P-R-N-D-L. Here is your traction control on and off. And there's your mode selector there. There's a little bit of like a cubby hole here, and then also a 12-volt power outlet in there. Close that up, and then this is another little party trick as well. You push the button, and then it's fully electric. That goes ahead and shows you the two cup holders here, and then to bring it back, you just go ahead and push the button, and we come on back. All right, glove box here is a power button. Opens up the glove box, which is really nice. Kind of an interesting look to the glove box. It's got felt in it, damped and lined with felt, so that's very, very, very nice. You can see we've got Bose branded audio stereo in here. This sounds fantastic for this year model car. Just really terrific audio, great bass. There's the big subwoofer that's in the trunk. And again, this is the passenger side. We are fully leather, this gorgeous cashmere leather with the Cadillac branding in the center. We come up towards the top here in the center stack. We have our OnStar buttons here. And again, as of this filming in the summer of 2022, this is going to be rendered useless by the end of the year because they're shutting down the 2G service that relies on. So you have to use your phone instead of just hitting the blue OnStar button, which is a little disappointing, but I guess that's the curve of technology. So we have full LED lights on both sides. That's very nice. The passenger airbag is off. There's nobody there. This is your garage door opener. You have 3 memory garage door memory sounds there. We have active noise cancellation with these small speakers here, so it's extremely quiet, so you barely even hear the engine when it actually does light up and fire up. We have a glove box here, pretty standard kind of glove box, kind of rubberized mat here down the bottom, and then just a decent sized glove box as well. Actually goes relatively far back. A USB here, aux in as well, and an SD card slot. That's for the navigation. So this doesn't slide, it just stays in the center. Now you do see this very large center column, and I am not going to try to get in the back because I've never gotten in the back of this vehicle. It's almost impossible. But as you can see, it is a bit of a tight squeeze back here. But this battery pack is a T-shaped battery, so that's why it starts in the back and then runs all the way up to the front. And this is the center of the battery pack. You've got that little storage area there, but again, you see the very sloped, raked back windshield. At times, it can get a little difficult to kind of navigate and kind of see where you are at, but it is really tight, as you can see here. I mean, there's barely any space here, and I don't know if I can spin this camera around without contorting. We'll see if that shows it. I mean, this is where my seating position is, and there's barely any room at all behind my seat. So again, it's really just a 2-passenger vehicle is really what this amounts to. We have the Alcantara the Alcantara headliner, which is a really nice luxury touch. We've got this real wood, as we mentioned before, along the door panels here. So very cool stuff. It's tilt and telescoping all-electric wheel, fully electric seats for both sides. No massaging feature on this this year's model. On the 2014 was not available, but some of the newer ones are, we have massaging seats. Very slim, low profile mirror. It's not the one that has the rear camera in it. That was not available, although that would be a very good feature if they ever decided to bring this car back, to put the rear view mirror camera. Would be very good. There is a rear view camera. We'll put this in the reverse and you'll see that pop up. It's got guidance there as well, trajectory on both sides. Not, you know, it's a standard camera, but for 2014 that was halfway decent resolution. We've obviously moved 8-9 years into the model years, and we've gotten much clearer with our resolution on our cameras. And also, as I spin it back over to the mirrors, you'll see as I put it back in the park, you'll see the mirrors automatically dip down when you put the car in reverse. So that's a look at the interior of the 2014 Cadillac ELR. Let's go outside and I'll pop the hood and we'll show you what we have underneath the hood. Okay, so now we popped the hood. The one thing I will say, though, again, mind you, in 2014, this car had a sticker of $82,000, and we're dealing with a prop rod. I'm not really a fan of that. That's not something that's befitting of a Cadillac as a prop rod, but I digress. We're taking a look at the generator here. It's a 4-cylinder generator. Puts out, you know, minimal horsepower, but again, it's only to charge the electric battery. This is one of the electric motors here. Puts out about 215 horsepower, but about 295 foot-pounds of torque. Again, this is for 2014. In 2016, they upped that by about 100 foot-pounds, almost 400, and they also increased the horsepower as well for the 2016 model. So, again, we had some, you know, improvements there, and they also actually dropped the price in 2016 as well, about 10 or 15,000. Again, didn't sell very well, unfortunately, but again, this engine only powers the battery. It only makes electricity. It does not drive the drivetrain, the wheels, which is a one gear automatic transmission. As you can see, all these electric orange cables, which I don't want to get involved in. In fact, I just had the 12-volt battery replaced. It does have a standard 12-volt battery in the trunk, and beyond my scope of knowledge for automotive inner workings. So let the professionals do it at the dealer. Did a great job. And yeah, I was kind of just in a difficult spot in dealing with an electric vehicle. I didn't want to short circuit anything or blow myself up either way. There's the windshield washer fluid there. So again, it's a kind of very tight, very compact type hood. You know, there's no frunk. There was no frunk back then in 2014. Again, this is pretty much very similar to what you would have seen underneath that first generation Chevy Volt. Obviously without the Cadillac badging, it said Chevy, but this is the exact same powertrain, kind of massaged a little bit for the Cadillac buyer. But again, you know, just really jam-packed here in the engine bay. The sun is set and we are into nighttime mode. Let's give you a little walking tour of the 2014 Cadillac ELR. So this is the approach. As you open up the door, you can see all the switches and the window and the memory seats are all lit up. And you see the full LED lights that are in the vehicle and the top of the roof in the front as well as into the back. And you see all of the instrumentation is completely lit up here on the dashboard as well as the steering wheel. So we get on into the vehicle and we step on in. Got the key in my car, my pocket I should say. And we get the welcome screen. We go ahead and click power on. As you see, it comes to life here at night. Very cool. That is very, very cool. So now, as you can see, we are at now, earlier in the video, we were only about 12 miles. Now we're at a full charge, fully charged at 40 miles. Took about 3 hours and 45 minutes to go from about 9-10 miles to 40 miles. Again, adding 30 miles in 3 hours, only about 8-9 miles in an hour. Certainly slow by today's standards, but back then it was something to be reckoned with. And as you can see, all the instrumentation here, very, very cool as it kind of comes to life here at night. And again, you see it's not really ambient lighting, but just some slight lighting, some piping lighting underneath the speaker grill on the door sills, and then all this LED. The LEDs are all in the center console, as well as the park, reverse, neutral, and drive, and low gear. Let's get out of the vehicle here. It's going to beep at me, but that's okay. Get out of the vehicle, and what we'll do is we'll show you the lighting. As you hear the chime that just says that I have the key fob in my pocket. So let's go around towards the front. So this is the side profile of the vehicle. You can see these LED lights, as we mentioned earlier in the review, that these LEDs were the first production LEDs. Full LED complements around the vehicle, LED turn signals, as well as the daytime running lamps on either side. Very cool stuff. And as we come around the vehicle here, show you the tail markers as well. So really cool stuff here with the vertical lights. I love the vertical lights in the Cadillac. I'm such a big fan of Cadillac, and certainly now what they're doing with the Lyriq, and as you can see from the back seat, kind of a really cool view through the back window with the LEDs and the instrument panel. I think it's really such a sharp look to the vehicle. Very, very cool stuff. So this was just a brief nighttime walk around of the 2014 Cadillac ELR. As we kind of widen up things, you do see it has the automatic headlights, and they are bright. They do a real nice job, high beam, low beams. Very, very cool stuff. So that's a look at the 2014 Cadillac ELR in nighttime mode. All right, friends, we're going to wrap this review of my 2014 Cadillac ELR, all-electric 2014 Cadillac. I love the car. Like I said, I've had it for just about 2 years, and it's been flawlessly operational. Runs like a champ, just absolutely smooth. It's smooth and silent, right? Almost like a submarine. But I just love this color, this crystal red tint coat, which was also available on the Corvette, and also the XLR, which is another Cadillac car that was made on the Corvette line in Bowling Green, but it was the Cadillac version of the Corvette, kind of. So my friends who are Corvette enthusiasts, please don't come after me on that, but that's basically what it was. It was the XLR. This is the ELR. That was the XLR, but the same color combination you can get in that with the cashmere. Again, like I said, these are very rare vehicles. There's only less than 3,000 ever made. So, yeah. So hopefully it will be a future collectible. And they got some other things I want to do to the vehicle over time. Get it paint corrected and probably ceramic coated and so forth. But again, I just love the vehicle. I think it's really a sharp head turner. And like I said, take it to the local car shows and really just have a lot of fun with it. So hope you enjoyed this little review of my 2014 Cadillac ELR. Again, we're doing some different things with the channel, trying to add some other content. If you have any suggestions, please email me at tristatetrafficshow@gmail.com. Again, tristatetrafficshow@gmail.com. And don't forget to tune in to the Tri-State Traffic Show every Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Definitely join us there for the best traffic coverage in the New Jersey, New York City, Long Island, Hudson Valley, and Connecticut areas. We'll get you through any of the morning commute. Also, for your morning forecasts with our meteorologist in training, John Arocco. So with that said, we'll see everybody on the channel.